Hey y'all, it's the afternoon. I'm about petered out today. I tell you, I have been so busy all day long today, but I finally got home. And so anyway, I thought I'm having some friends over tomorrow. So I'm trying to think of something that I can make like a little salad thing to go with what we're going to fix tomorrow. So I thought, since we've got all these fresh tomatoes and onions and cucumbers and that kind of thing in, I would fix like a marinated salad, and it can get real cold tonight and crispy in our solution that we're gonna make. And so anyway, so that's what I'm gonna make today. So if you want to stay in here and cook with me a little while, you can. You can put anything in this salad that you want to put. But what I'm going to do is I've got two really pretty tomatoes today. And so I'm going to cut those up in little chunks. That's all you're going to do. Nothing fancy about it. It just has a good fresh garden flavor. So I'm going to cut that way and then this way. And what I'm going to do, the reason I'm cutting my tomatoes up first is I'm going to put them in this colander and put them over here in the sink and let them drain a while, because I don't want my salad to be real watery. I want that vinegary, sugary taste that we're going to put on it today. Now, I wish I'd had a little squash. I started to call Miss April today and say, hey, I need some squash, but I like the real little tender squash. They're real good in it. You just eat them raw, but they're real good in this salad. But let's see what I did today. Let me even think what I did today. I got up early this morning and I took my dog for a walk down to the zinnia patch. We looked at that. And washed a load of clothes this morning. Folded them real good. Put them away. Let's see. I vacuumed the hallway and one bedroom. I did that. So anyway, I've got my tomatoes in there. I used two. Now I'm going to put it over here in the sink a little bit and see if I can get it to drip some of that water out while I'm cutting something else up. All right, I've got one big white onion, and I'm going to cut that up and put it in our salad. It'll be mighty good. Anyway, today, after that, I finally got off and I went to eat with some girlfriends today. We call ourselves the lunch bunch. And we try to eat at a different restaurant. And today we ate at an Italian restaurant, and I got lasagna, and it was good too. It was really good, and I got a salad. So that's what I ate. Then I left there and I went to line dancing. Now, you know, I told y'all that in my line dancing class, my teacher, she's the same age as I am. She can go too. She knows how to dance. And the reason I'm in it is because it's good for your coordination. It's good for your weight. It's good for your mental step, because I have to remember whether to put out my left foot or my right foot in some of these dances. So it's good for us. We usually have it at the senior center, but since this COVID-19 has been around, they closed the senior center, so we're having to meet somewhere else. And we've got about, I don't know, 15 or so in our class. All of them didn't come today, but we learned some new dances today. Okay, I'm back. The phone rang, so my video stopped. So I think where I left off with y'all was I was putting my tomatoes over here in the sink, those two tomatoes for the salad. So, you know, this recipe calls for a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. So instead of putting my salt in the salad, I decided that I would put it on these tomatoes over here, you know, so it would pull those juices out, because I don't want everything to be real juicy. So anyway, I did that, and a lot of juice is coming out of it. I don't want my salad to be watery. Okay, so anyway, so the next thing I'm going to cut up are some cucumbers. I'm going to cut the end off of it. You know, sometimes in the season, you know, when your cucumbers get bitter, I guess you'd say. Somebody told me if you cut the end off of it like that and go in a circle, just like this, that it pulls the sourness out of it. I don't know whether it's so or not, but something actually does come out of it. It's like a little, in the wintertime, especially when you buy those cucumbers. But anyway, okay, so I cut the ends off of it, and I'm going to go down the center, and I'm going to go down the center one more time, and I'm going to cut it in fourths. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is I don't want every one of these little seeds in it. So I'm going to kind of cut a little bit of those seeds out. There's no sense in that being in our salad. I'm going to cut that out. These are a little bit large. So I'm going to cut that out. You know, cucumbers are real fresh and taste so good to me. But my daddy never liked them. He never liked cucumbers. He would fuss at Mama if she even started to put a cucumber in something. He was good and help in the kitchen, but he sure could fuss sometimes when, oh, that one had a lot of seeds in it. See there? I'm cutting that out. I don't want it in there. All right, got that. I'm going to put 3 cucumbers. So I put 2 tomatoes. We're going to put 3 cucumbers. Like that. I got one more cut. This is a big fat one too. Some of y'all may make pickles. And when I was a young woman, I made pickles too. But I never was real good at it. My mother-in-law used to make that bread and butter pickle. And I loved it. I thought they were so good. And I still like bread and butter pickle today. All right, here we go. We got our cucumbers cut in long things. Now I'm gonna cut them up to go in the salad. Let's see what I've got. I'm gonna have to hold it with 2 different hands. My hand's not big enough to hold that bundle. Cut those up. So I hope y'all had a good day. You know, I told somebody one time, I'm real active in the morning time. I'm a morning person. But the further in the day it gets, I told somebody one time, I said, I'm not worth killing in the late afternoon. I'm so tired by the time nighttime gets here. That I'm gonna cut that one up one more time, I think. It's still a little fat. I hope my friends like this salad tomorrow. And I hope they know that it was made with love. But you know, we need to use what's in our garden. And that's why I told you, you know, a lot of y'all are growing banana peppers and cucumbers and tomatoes. And if you have a little tender squash, the little bitty ones, put your 2 or 3 of those in there, make it so colorful. Make it so pretty. I'm going to put this in a plastic container because it's going to have vinegar and all that onions, and it's got to sit in the refrigerator, so I don't want it stinking up the refrigerator. So I'm going to put it in that plastic thing. All right, now, I bought 2 more of these peppers at Winger's Market today. You know, the other day I told you I wasn't sure what they were called. Well, I bet 100 folks told me what these things were called, and all I can tell you is they are so good. They're real crispy. They kind of remind me of a banana pepper, but they're not, but that's what they remind me of. I bet they would be good as a stuffed pepper. I bet some of y'all make stuffed peppers, and I bet these would do real good for that. I'm going to put 2 of these in there. I would save the seed and plant some next year, but it's probably some genetically altered food, and they wouldn't come back the same. All right, let's cut these in strips. I hope y'all can see now. I try so hard for y'all to see what we're doing. Okay, here we go. We're gonna cut these in strips, kind of fat strips, and we're not having too skinny. We're going to have nice little chunky pieces in there. Like that. Ooh, they smell so good. They smell delicious. I served some of these for my Sunday lunch last Sunday with some sliced tomatoes. I don't think anybody ate them but my daughter and I. My son-in-law might have eaten a few of them. He likes peppers. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get these kind of cut up chunky like. I'm gonna need my other knife, I think. Alright. I used to have an aunt and an uncle about this time of day. I think it's right now, it's 5:30 in the afternoon or at night, early. Well, gosh, I'm losing half of them on the floor. Anyway, they were like me. They worked really hard in the morning, and then at nighttime they didn't work so hard. And they would take their bath about 3:30 in the afternoon, eat supper about 4 or 4:30, and they were in for the day. They didn't go anywhere else. And she would say, I'd call her and I'd say, why don't y'all come down here and visit a while? Have a piece of pie. And she said, oh no, we can't come. We already scalded and scraped. And what she's saying was that she had already taken her bath and she wasn't leaving. You know, I feel that way sometimes. I bet y'all do too. After you get your bath and you get your gown on, you're thinking, man, I am not going anywhere and I'm not doing anything else today. Ooh, don't those peppers look good? This is gonna be delicious. Delicious. All right, I'm gonna get me something to stir with a little bit over here. Kind of flip it around some. And then we're gonna put our topping on it. All right, let's see how our tomatoes are doing. Oh, we're still getting juice out of them. I'll leave it over there until I get my... Okay, here's what we're going to make our juice out of. Our marinade. And you got to make it the day before and let it sit. So that's what I'm fixing to do. All right, this recipe calls for 1/2 cup of sugar. So I'm going to reach in here. And I'm going to get 1/2 cup right there. 1/2, and I'm going to sprinkle that over. Ooh, what you say? All right, now it calls for, that was 1/2 cup of sugar. All right, it calls for 1/4 cup of oil. I am using the vegetable oil. Just a plain old vegetable oil. I'm going to pour that over it. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup, excuse me, a 1/2 cup of sugar and a 1/2 cup of vinegar. And yes, I know this is not a liquid measure, but I don't care. I'm using the white vinegar, but I don't know. I guess you could use apple cider vinegar, but I know one thing you cannot use. On your oil, you cannot use olive oil, because when you put it in the refrigerator in this salad, because I've made the mistake and I've done it before, it turns white and the consistency's not good and it doesn't work. So you're gonna have to use some kind of vegetable oil or corn oil or something like that. You cannot use that. All right, I fixed to put in my 1/2 cup of vinegar. Okay, let me stir that up a little bit. Oh, and I'm gonna put in my pepper. You know, I put my salt over there. I'm gonna put in a little pepper. And then we're gonna mix that in. And it's gonna marinate all night. And it will be so refreshing tomorrow. And let me tell you what I do. When I stir it up like this and put it in the refrigerator, before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to come in here and stir it up again so those juices can get on all the pieces, and it'll taste so much better that way. And anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Y'all should have seen all us old women today line dancing. We're just a bunch of old women out there trying to do. But it sure was fun. I say old women, some of them's not as old as I am. Alright, I'm going to put my tomatoes in now. Shake it just a little bit more. I got a lot of juice out of it. Put our tomatoes in. You know, this thing's so big, I might just make me up one more recipe of my juice. Because that makes it good. I think I will. This looks mighty big for just what I put in it. Doesn't it look good? Look at that. See how pretty? And it's going to be real crispy tomorrow. I think I am. I'm going to put one more recipe of my mixture in there. All right, a half cup of sugar. I'm gonna do it again, because that's just so much. It doesn't seem like I've got enough. Doesn't seem like I've got enough goodie in it. I'm gonna put that, a little more pepper, and my 1/4 cup of oil. And my 1/2 cup of vinegar. Ooh, that's heavy. Okay, now then, that's better. It gives it more juice in there, and it can help it to marinate. All right, I've got my salad done for my little friends that are coming tomorrow. I hope y'all get to meet them on Facebook. They're just dolls. They're so sweet. Wonderful, wonderful people. For those of you who are asking, a lot of people are asking this, so I might as well tell y'all. You're asking about the prices of the bed and breakfast and that sort of thing. Where's my top? Here it is. Well, there's a price list on my cooking page. I don't know how far down it is, but it's on there. And it's on the Connell House page. So I got it in 2 places. Okay, now then. Now tonight, see that stuff is in here. And then I'm going to stir this maybe twice before I go to bed tonight, or maybe just once. And it's going to marinate all night. And then tomorrow, at lunch, it's going to be good, and it'll taste good. And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator in a minute. We're going to let it marinate. But anyway, I want to tell you that there's the list is on there. So y'all can look that up and kind of see about that. Let's see what else I want to tell you. I can't think of a thing. Everything's going great. I hope y'all have a good night. I hope that bed feels good to you tonight. You know, sometimes you just put your toes down there. You're so tired and it feels so good. You think, oh, Lord. Let me tell you this story. When my mother was a little girl, she went to visit her aunt that lived in Tennessee. And so Mother went to stay with them because she wanted to play with her cousins that the aunt had. Well, the aunt had a lot of children, maybe 8 kids or something like that. And so Mother went to stay with them. And she said at night, her aunt would lay down and she'd say, "Oh, Lord." And Mama said, I heard her in that room saying that. And she said, I always wondered why she was saying that. She sounded like she was hurting or something was wrong. And so years and years went by, and my mother got old. And she laid down in the bed one night, and she said, "Oh, Lord." And she said, for the first time, I knew what my aunt was saying and why she was saying it. It was this: Lord, I have worked all day. I've tended to the children. I've washed their clothes. I've disciplined. I've folded clothes. I've cooked. I've entertained. I've done all this stuff all day long. And Lord, I sure do thank you for this bed. And it feels so good. And my mother, when she was old, she thought of her aunt. And you know, now that I'm old, I feel the same way. I'm thankful for a bed to lay down in at night. You know, I think sometimes we don't think about all the blessings we have. I think we take them for granted. The food, this salad that I just made, I mean, that's a blessing to have something to eat and a place to sleep and a place to lay our head on a pillow, and a Savior that we can talk to at night when we go to bed. It's a wonderful thing. But God bless you all. I hope my salad turns out good tomorrow and that it's not a failure, and I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be delicious because I've made it before, and it's easy to make, quick. You know, as my mom always said, when you're having company, get your dessert and your salad fixed first. And then the day the company comes, all you got to do is put on some vegetables and meat, and you got it made. So I'm saying goodbye to y'all now, and y'all have a blessed night. I hope your bed feels as good to you tonight as mine's going to feel to me. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.